We got the Segway Power Q power station. This is the 1000. We press this here. I guess I press and hold. There we go. 97 is what we're at right now. 90 hours. 0 in, 0 out right now. Not getting used. It's a pretty decent screen. One of the bigger screens, honestly, for a lot of the systems I've seen. So here's the outputs. We got 1, 2, 3 AC 110s. Of course, you press that button there to turn it on, so they work. Then we've got your DC cigarette lighter. Look at this. We got 4 USBs and 2 USB-Cs on top of it. Of course, you press this button here to turn those all on. Then for you few out there who are doing the barrel plugs, we got 2 of those. And that's it, which isn't too bad for a power station this size. Thing is, this isn't always this size. Let me turn it off. Gotta make sure you have it off here. Press and hold again. Go ahead and lift it up. This is a wireless, no wires. It has these connecting ports right here. You can see compared to the size of my hand how big they are. You can buy multiple cells like this that stack inside of it. Those cells stack to become a bigger power supply. Go ahead and put it back. This is good and bad. We're going to talk about all of that. But before we do, we're going to put through a little torture test to see what all it can do. Now, to remove those, by the way, you have to take out these screws here. There's 4 of them, 2 on either side. So it's not just like a quick latch and go kind of thing, but it's not super hard. All right, here's our test setup. We got this powered on. We got the AC turned on, air compressor, grinder, old drill, and we got the shop vac, the Stealth Sonic. Let's see if we can handle the compressor. Compressors put a big spike on these things. Let me see if I can get over here so you can see it as it comes on. All right, we're at, look at 794, 824, 835. Still going. Well, let's go and let's see if we can do the grinder. There's the grinder. How about the drill? Well, we blew an error on something doing all that. Let's try and reset it, see what happens again. All right, we're back. We got everything on. We're going to keep this going. I'm going to leave this open so it keeps running here. Oh, I have to turn those on. Whoops. There we go. All right. We're going to turn those off. We're going to unplug the drill because that's probably the least of it. Let's do the shop vac. We're gonna pull this over here. We're gonna plug this sucker in here. There we go. Come on, we can do this. All right, Griff, hit it. It seems quiet. It's a Stealth Sonic. That's why we use that one. Now we got the power here. Let's do this. Ooh, Max didn't like that. All right, turn that off. All right, let's try this again. That's just building and building. Okay, kick that on. All right, now if I close this, starts working again. We're at 18, just below 18. All right. That was too much trying to add in that. Well, I've definitely kicked over the circuit protection on this thing a bunch at this point. Go ahead, is that off?
Yep.
All right, So here's the thing with this. At this size, this many ports, that's fine. Who cares? But this thing can really stack. So let's talk about that and see what's what. All right, well, you already saw it in action. We did kind of a little tour around the box. I forgot to show you the back. On the back, there's an Anderson port, a regular power plug, and a reset button for the fuse. Nice little magnetic switch back there. Maybe I'll find a pic I can show you here. But let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly on this. All right, let's lay down the law. And let's be honest about what we got here. We'll start with the good because that's the feel good kind of area, right? Good. It is the inverter on this, which is basically the top part of the box. It's comparable to most of the other 2K boxes that are out there, and that's what I see as the standard. We've reviewed a lot of these, and something coming in around that 2K mark as far as wattage and stuff is fairly typical for the go-to kind of box. And then they'll have different ways to expand it and stuff in most cases. Nothing so elegant as this, but it's fairly comparable. Now the screen on it, I thought the screen was clear and concise. I know that's kind of hard to see on the little screen here, or wherever you're watching on YouTube. It's hard to see in their glare and stuff. But for me personally, looking right at it, it's better than a lot of the screens that I've seen. Is it the best? I wouldn't say it's the best screen, but I'd say it's a good screen, a lot better than a lot of other companies are doing. And it's not a bunch of clutter. It's not a bunch of this and that all over the place. You saw it when we had an error code. It popped up. It's like, hey, here's the error. It didn't like just show me some weird, idiot light kind of thing, and I have to go through the manual, look it up to see what it is. It's like, hey, over surge protection enabled. All right, good, thanks. Good to know. No power brick needed. So it just takes a standard PC power plug. I'm trying to see if I've got one lying around. I mean, most houses do, right? There almost always seems to be a power plug lying around somewhere. I think I've got them all in use. But there's always seems to be one of those standard, I always think of as a PC that goes into a computer kind of thing. The handles on it, good solid handles. They're not sticking up so high you can't put stuff on top. Fairly flat-ish kind of surface. Good handles on either side of it so you can grab it and lift it. It's intuitive. Everything about it. Like, if I want to use the AC ports, there's the AC button. If I wanted to use the DC ports, there's the DC button. It's all right there. And these are in no particular order, by the way. 5-year warranty from the factory with it. Uses LFP batteries. If you're not familiar with those are lithium iron phosphate rather than lithium ion. That's iron as opposed to ion. They're slightly bigger and not as power dense, but they don't catch on fire, which is a big win. And they offer you way more recharge cycles than a lithium ion. Let's see here. Solid electronics. So you saw it kick in there. It kicked in and said, hey, the over surge protection. And we did it multiple times with quite a bit of power. I've had boxes that we've tested that you overload it in once and it's like, nope, this board's fried. And it can handle it multiple times and just reset it and keep going. And just so you know, this is a prototype box that Segway sent us. So just full disclosure on that. Let's see here. It's IP56 rated. Now what that means is the first letter in that is dust. So it's dust resistant. And the second letter or the second number is water. And at 6, it's even higher, which is strong water jet. So like heavy splash, or even like accidentally sprayed by a power washer as you went by, should probably handle it just fine. Should. Don't be washing it with a power washer. But I mean, that for a power bank is pretty good protection. You can take it outside. You can do stuff with it, take it to the beach. Not really worry about it. Let's see here. 800 watt MPPT controller for solar. There are better ones out there. And I almost put this in the bad, but when you combine it with the 1250 AC charging and the fact it can simulcharge AC and solar at the same time, that pushed it on into the good realm. I mean, 800 is okay as far as solar. There's a lot of them out there we've talked about here that do way more than that. But with the AC combined, the fast charging, you can charge this whole box in under 2 hours, probably around an hour if you get everything set up. And speaking of which, and talking about that kind of fast charging, it does have a UPS mode. So you can put it in UPS mode. What that is that's what we call an uninterruptible power supply. So like say you've got your computer plugged into this and this is plugged into the wall. Power goes out for your house. Your computer doesn't even notice it. It switches over that fast and you just keep going. That's what that's for. It's got a smart app so you can get on your phone. You can see all the whiz bang details and stuff like that. If you want to nerd out of it, some people do. It's easy in the upgrade system. That's the big feature here is that upgrade system. What I love about this is it's good I see it in three ways that it's good. You can start off with the basic box like I have. And if you don't have a lot of money, buy the basic box and then you can buy cells later and add to it. And you can go up to 5 cells total, including, I think you can add 4 cells. So 5,000 watt hours in total, okay? So that is quite a bit of power. That's way more than like the average 2K box, in and of itself. But here's the deal. The other thing is, like, say you've got the 5K box, you leave it at home. That's your home backup kind of stuff. You use it for all the stuff around the house. You're going to go camping for the weekend. I don't need to take 5K with me. Well, I can take out 4 screws and just take the amount of power I want with me. I'm going to go camping. I'm going to take, say, 3,000 watts. I'm going to go for a 3-day weekend. I'm going to go to the beach for a day. I just want to be able to charge cell phones and stuff like that. I'll break it down to the 1K box. Modular use. And then here's the other thing. If you are going to transport it, and even if you are going to transfer the full 5K, it can get kind of heavy. You just break it down and put it in your truck or your car piece by piece. Means it doesn't have to take up one giant spot. You can put a piece over here, you can put a piece over there. A small RV, stuff like that's useful because big storage is not something you find in small RVs. Heck, it's not something you find in big RVs usually. So finding a way to be able to take it apart and put components in different places, I feel that's fairly useful. All right, let's talk about the bad. So again, expandability. So you can expand it, but you can't expand the inverter. That means that you're not going to go above 2,200 watts. Even if you do get the 5K, you're stuck at the 22 watts. Now, 2,200. Now, to be fair, most of the other systems are kind of the same when it comes to that. But you're also stuck at 3 AC plugs. Most other systems out there, the 2K boxes, have more than 3 plugs. Some of them also have RV 30 amp plugs. This doesn't have that. I think that's kind of a negative there. Sorry, I got a cough drop in, just getting over COVID here. And the company really wanted me to get this out, so we're moving fast on this. Sorry, I'm still a little under the weather. Only having 3 plugs at 1,000 watt hours that's fine. Who cares? At 2,000, you might kind of start missing it. At 3, 4, yeah. At 5, it's like I really want to be able to plug this into something serious, and I can't. That's an issue for me. Okay. Now maybe for you it's not. I have an RV. I want to be able to use stuff like that. Maybe that's just like, hey, I'd never use it in that way, in that form. So if it's not an issue for you, then it's not an issue for you. Just want to put it out there, make sure everyone's aware of it, okay? At 5K, when you have it fully loaded, that sucker's going to be heavy, all right? And hard to move around. It doesn't have a wheeled system like a lot of the other ones. That's something I require in a lot of my systems. I'm like, it has to be wheeled. Now, could you rig up a dolly system for it? Sure. They have a video on the website showing kids taking it to the beach using a little pack-out dolly kind of thing. Great, you can do that. I prefer it to be integrated, but I get it. You could do that. And here's the other one. This is new. Now, Segway is a company that's been around for a while. And this is Segway 9-bot. I'm not sure it's exactly the same as like the stand-up scooter ones, but they've made a lot of other scooter stuff. And I think they made like an e-motorcycle, and they know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a while. But it's still a new product, and you don't know how long it's going to be supported. How long is it going to be out there? If I buy the 1K, system today, 3 years from now, suddenly I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to upgrade to 5K. Will you be able to buy them? I can't sit here and tell you can. I mean, we'd hope so. It's Segway. They've been around for a while, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's definitely going to be the case, and you need to consider that. All right. The ugly. Well, let me show you the ugly. Here's the ugly. The ugly is it's on Kickstarter. And I know for a lot of people, that's just not going to, do not pass go, do not collect, any of my money. And again, I'm going to go back to the this isn't some fly-by-night startup that you've never heard of before, okay? Now, is it, GM or something like that? No, it's not a $100 billion company, but it's not a no-name company. And they've delivered through Kickstarter. I think most of their products were launched through Kickstarter. And a lot of these tech companies do that these days. I'm fairly techie, so that doesn't make me cringe as much as it might for some people. I would prefer if it wasn't. But let's go through here and let's show you. I think we're looking at a launch date in early December. And, and as again, Segway's launched other things before. Here, let's look at pricing, okay? So we're looking at here, Segway Power Cube Station 1000. That's the one I've got here. That's the one I showed you, $569. I'm going to say that is maybe a tad high. Now, we're bargain hunting bears around here, so we go for we look for the sales, we look for the super discounts and stuff like that. We don't ever buy at MSRP. So, to be fair, that's probably a reasonable price point. For some of us, we're like, oh, I want to save a little bit more than that. But again, you're buying into the inverter, and then that's any kind of time you're looking at expandable systems, open systems like that. You got to pay for the basic infrastructure, and then from there it gets better. Now, if you go with the launch special, it gets you the solar panel, the SP1000. I got some video I can put up here and let you see it. It's a nice little system. It's 100 watts. It's got a little bag on the back where the parts can go in. It's a clever little design. I like it. It's nice enough. That's going to jump it up to $798 on that. Now, if you want the 2000, that's going to get you the inverter top, the base power brick that I have, and then an extra little wedge loaf that goes in the middle there that adds another 1,000 kilowatt hours to this thing. So at $1,000 for a 2K system, I'm going to tell you, a 2K system like this used to be just over $2,000. If you were paying $1,000 a kilowatt, you were doing about par. If you remember the first Blue Eddy system we showed, the first Anchor 2000, those were all in the $2,000 range. This is half that. Now, granted, this is a Kickstarter kind of thing, but that's what I'm telling you. You start reaping those benefits of that initial infrastructure purchase you get. When you start expanding it, it starts getting cheaper. All right, and let's see what else we got. We got the 2000 with the solar panel. Then we've got oh wow, look at this. This is the Home Power Bundle Cube Series. This is all 5,000 watt hours for 2K. That's a pretty good price. But again, that's if you want to jump in feet first into this and be like, I'm going to go all in on this one, and I'm not going to need that 30 watt, not 30 watt, 30 amp plug. The three 110s are going to be just fine for me, and if it is, then that's great. And for some people it is. You run a refrigerator, maybe an AC unit and something else off of it, for like you're out of power for 3 days or something like that. That's the kind of system what you're looking at here, just keeping the essentials running. That's it. There's more stuff, and I'm going to put a link to everything down below so you can go take a look at it and see if it's what you're looking for. Again, I would not put it next to the ocean. IP56 or not, I don't care. I'm not putting my power station next to salt water. But I guess it makes for a good photo. It's a well-built system. It seems really robust. Again, the one they sent me is a prototype. I would imagine the ones you would get would be even better put together. I did have an issue where one of the rubber feet on the side keeps falling off. I'm so used to that with rubber feet, it doesn't really faze me. I almost forgot to mention it, but I just want you guys to know everything that's going on with it. If you do decide to buy it, I want to be 100% about this. And there's other YouTubers who are doing this kind of stuff and doing reviews for it. You're going to see this all over the place. Again, LiFePO 4 batteries. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. The BMS system, there's the full 5K box. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, inserts plus the bottom. I think it's a cool design. I like it. I can kind of geek out on it, but would I buy it? For me, no. I'm not the customer for this because I'm going to want something I can plug my RV into, and this just ain't that. But for some people, maybe for you, it's a good looking system. You expect it to start rolling around and tell me where the plans to the Death Star are. But anyway, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like this kind of modularity? I mean, because if it did have all of that, and it had I mean, that's really the only thing holding me back is the additional ports, especially the 30 amp plug. Because at 5K, I'd really like to see that 30 amp plug in there. I could do some off grid kind of stuff, some dry camping. That could be pretty exciting for me. I still could. I could just not run certain things because I can plug my RV. I have an adapter that let me plug it into 110, so I can do that. But you saw we can definitely run power tools. If I'm doing job sites kind of stuff, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna only be there for an hour, and I just need a little basic kind of stuff. I'll take the one box. You know, I almost kind of wish it was more like a T-stack system where I had latches rather than having to take the screws in and out all the time. Because then it would be like, okay, I'm taking 3 boxes today. I'm taking 1 box today. I'm taking all 5 today. That could be kind of useful. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. That's what we got for you. That's the new power system from Segway. It's definitely innovative. It's interesting, and yeah, it's also on Kickstarter, so you got to make your call there. Anyway, links and stuff will be down below. I'm going to beg the company to see if they'll give us a coupon code. If so, we can get a discount on it. You know I'll include that, right? So it'll be down there if we can get one. Either way, let me know what you think about it. If you had other Segway stuff like this, let me know what your thoughts on their quality control and how long it lasts, and do you think it was worth the money you paid for it? Anyway, I want to thank Segway again for sponsoring this video. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.